Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another bar by bar analysis here on my channel. Today is March 31st, 2022, and I just want to jump right into it today. Relatively slow day. Market isn't as volatile today. Price action was printing fairly slowly. You had to be patient, of course. On days like this, you have to be patient, but we still saw some solid setups, and I hope that you guys had a good trading day. You guys didn't take aggressive trades. Remember, we're here to try and just focus on being as profitable as we can. So let's stick to the rules. Let's see how things set up as we go back and analyze this bar by bar and see what we can find for trades of the day. We had a downtrend that was pretty easy to spot here, working down with a few touches here at the bottom, and then drawing that resistance off the level of that swing here. And if you're awake at this time, it's 8:07 Central Time where this nice second entry short sets up. We have a short-term trend that's working its way up. And depending on how you draw this, you have a break with an attempt at a new high. Prices are holding at EMA. Prices have been holding at EMA. They tried pushing up, but couldn't quite do it with a strong push below EMA. Second entry short sets up with a new low. First entry short, prices come up to the EMA. Second entry short, very nice, simple textbook trade you could have taken right here to catch a move to the lows as prices work at reaching those overnight lows. Plenty of room to the bottom. That's a nice trade to take. 8:30 the market opens, and prices kind of chop along here a little bit at overnight lows, trying to figure out direction before they start pushing down. We extend this channel a little bit here before prices reach a new low and they come back up to the EMA. We do have a short-term trend in here, so we always have to remember to draw these moments of corrections as the market pushes down. So, when we have these downtrends at play, we draw these short-term trends with a break to a new low. And every time we have these corrections in the opposite direction of our trend, we want to just try and draw them in as much as we can. And you'll find that the pattern we make is kind of a ladder, right? If we're in a downtrend, we're drawing corrections, these bullish corrections. You'll see these short-term trends make somewhat of a ladder figure as prices continue to move down. And so that's kind of when you know you're doing things right, is we have the short-term trend working up, this new low, first entry short, prices break to the high to make that new high, cutting just above EMA before prices come back down and close right below EMA. That's a first entry short, second entry short. This is a trade that you have to take. This short-term trend working up has played out. We're in a downtrend, first entry short, second entry short, and you ride these prices down for that scalp. Now, as prices continue to push down, it seems like we do have a little bit of consolidation here as prices are trying to figure out what to do. You can clearly see that as these prices are pushing down, we're not pushing to the opposite end of the channel. So we could be losing a little bit of momentum here. We have a clear break of this short-term trend, of this, I should say, of this channel moving down, looking for this new low to form. Prices come back up to these overnight lows, testing this area. We have a new high with the first entry long. Prices push below EMA. I was looking for a failed second entry long, and there that failed second entry long could trigger. We just need a good signal bar to go short on, and we don't get it. Prices continue to push back up. Now, when prices didn't continue to push lower, we can extend this range a little bit with more data that we get. Remember, trying to accommodate as much of this price action as we can. We have this channel working down with the break looking for that new low, and we get that new low here on this bearish bar. So this short-term trend has essentially played out. We're not looking to go short at this time anymore. We want to see how prices are going to react at the EMA. So as prices work their way up, immediate rejection, they push back down, another strong push down. And as we make these new lows, we might have to extend our channel a bit. So this is where we could potentially start thinking, okay, well, could our channel look something more like this? But we did have a break and new low of this channel. So has this channel played out? We'll get rid of this one as to not confuse ourselves, but we have to try and figure out what channel is at play here, because the one I just deleted, that channel had played out, so it has no use to us anymore. We're looking for prices to reverse. Now, if they don't reverse back up into this trading range, we're just continuing down. We need to get rid of all that clutter and focus on the bigger trend at play. We have a new low here with a first entry short. We can't forget to draw in our short-term trends working up. Short-term trend with a first entry short, prices pull up to form that new high. Second entry short, but there's a trigger below this signal bar. Not really interested in going short below that bar. That being said, prices continue to push down just a little bit before they reverse and come back up to the EMA. You can see we're not filling this gap here at the bottom, so we could still be losing steam in this downtrend, but we're continuing to push lower. You can also start to see that the EMA is starting to flatten out just a little bit here. We're not necessarily looking for any trades. I guess we could be looking to potentially go long right back up here to these overnight lows. So you could start counting, you have these new lows here with the first entry short. Prices pull down below EMA, but you can easily see this EMA starting to flatten out. Prices are starting to range back and forth a little bit. We might have another range here. And this is where I started thinking, okay, we're moving in a range up here. Prices pull down, another range down here. You have a new high with the first entry long, second entry long triggers above this bearish bar. Can't go long above that. You also have new low here with the first entry short, second entry short, but the second entry short happens below a bullish bar. You don't want to go short below that. So you're really stuck here. You can't be making any trades. Prices pull back down back into this trading range, and you can see prices find that level of support down here at the bottom of this range that we drew in a lot earlier. So this is just a place where we have to sit on our hands. We have to wait. We have to see what happens. We have a strong little rally here above EMA before prices come back down for a first entry short, and prices are pulling back up. And where do we anticipate they're going to go? We're looking for prices to move back up to these overnight lows. We also have this 200 EMA, and I changed the color of it just so we get better contrast. I appreciate the comment. Someone suggested that I do that, so I'm going to have that in place so it's easier to recognize. But as prices pull up, we have a second entry short that may trigger below this bearish bar. Now, I personally don't like trading these only because I don't like to go short if we're above the EMA. That being said, we have two levels of resistance up here. We have these overnight lows that are now acting as resistance, and we have this 200 EMA that's been continuously pushing down that's acting as a level of resistance here too. So could this be a somewhat aggressive trade that some traders take? Yes, but I can see how it could be more of a higher probability trade if you take into account the level of resistance up here. We had this new low with the first entry short, second entry short that triggers. Some people would have been in this trade before prices pushed down and you would have gotten that scalp. That being said, it's aggressive for me. I didn't look at trading that. I had anticipated we had this move going down with a break and new low before prices chopped around just a little bit. I think even if you were to extend this channel just a little bit to accommodate more of the price action, right? We had that break and new low, so that trend that we had is gone. We want to try and incorporate more of that price action, but we also want it to make sense. So I don't know if I'd move this downtrend. I think it's at play. We have the break, move to a new low, and this is the end of that downtrend. So I think that's what I was thinking about in the moment. Is this downtrend had played out, looking for prices to push back strongly above EMA. I was looking for long opportunities. So we have this new low, first entry short, prices pull back up. Some people could take that second entry short, anticipating this level of resistance here at the top. Prices pull back down, and what I was thinking is when I saw this bar here, I saw failed second entry short. We had first entry short, second entry short that didn't continue lower. We had prices hold at EMA. I looked to take this long opportunity, but unfortunately it left without me as prices pushed up and continued on for that scalp and runner. So good job to people that ended up taking that trade. But again, the way we spot something like this is we have this downtrend at play with a break, move to a new low here. Prices push above EMA. We're looking for prices to hold. We do have a short-term trend that's working up nicely with the break, looking for a new high. First entry short, second entry short, failure. Prices are holding at EMA. Nice bullish signal bar, looking to go long. Plenty of room back up here to the level of resistance that has formed. This was definitely a nice trade to take, but I have to say you would have been waiting for a while. It's 9:42 Central Time at this time. You would have had to wait a fairly long time. You had to be very patient, and you would have had to spot this in the moment as it was forming. As prices move up above these overnight lows, now we're finding a level of potential support here at these overnight lows. Prices had pushed above, and now prices want to test this area again. We also have this EMA that's working up in our favor, and prices are also pushing above this 200 EMA, showing a potential reversal back up into this range. As prices chop along here, we have this new high. We have a first entry long, and as prices pulled back down to the EMA, we have a potential second entry long that's going to trigger above this bearish bar. It did finish somewhat bullish as prices tried pushing down to the EMA, but I wasn't interested in going long above this bearish signal bar. The other thing I noticed is the EMA was holding and we had this uptrend in play, and so I ended up drawing this, but I was hoping for a better bar to form. That's when this next bar formed. Very similar to this past one where prices tried pushing to the EMA, but prices held. New high, first entry long, second entry long. We also can't forget about our short-term trends that are at play. Again, thinking about this ladder that I had mentioned earlier, can't forget to draw these breaks here with a break move to a new low. That second, I'm sorry for that failed second entry short here. But then here we have prices that are working down with a break move to a new low. First entry long, second entry long, prices holding at EMA. This is another trade that I tried to take, but it left without me. And I was very frustrated, but it is what it is. Prices started moving down before moving up and triggering this second entry long. Prices continue to push up above these overnight lows. And when we think about it, it makes sense, right? We had a downtrend at play with a break, new low, prices pushing above the EMA, looking for that reversal. We have an uptrend at play now, anticipating for prices to push back up into this trading range. These were the trades that I saw for today. Now, as prices continue here, we have a nice clear break of this uptrend, looking to make a new high. New high with a first entry long. We also have a very far second entry short with this new low, first entry short, second entry short. But we're not looking to go short into this level of support here at the bottom. So at this point, I was looking for a second entry long. New high with a first entry long. Prices come back down. Second entry long triggers below EMA as well as a bearish bar. I'm not looking to go long above this bar. Now, I saw this bar start to form. It finished nice and bullish. I was interested in going long above this bar, and I had an order ready. But as you can see, this next bar prints, and there was never a trigger above this bar. And after this bar formed, very clear to see overlapping bars, EMAs flattening out. This is that red flag where you have to be very cautious. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch any of those moves back to make a new high here. Prices just continue to chop along here. The other thing I started to see was we had this short-term trend that was working down, break, new low. And so that's what gave me a little bit more confidence of potentially going long here. But as you continue to see price action form, we start to get very choppy as prices find this level of support at the overnight lows. Also very clear to see this 200 EMA is flattening out. 21 EMA is flattening out. This is clear indication you shouldn't be taking any trades here. Not really any opportunities as prices continue to chop along. Yes, they're holding below EMA, but we don't know exactly where prices are going to go. Prices pull down below EMA, and I should also probably draw a range, right? That's here at play. Prices pull below, and as we start to get some movement, I was thinking, okay, if a second entry short sets up, I'd be interested in going short. We have this new low, and as prices push up, not even an opportunity for a second entry short before prices push strongly above EMA. We had the new low with a first entry short, and this bar is either giving us a second entry long or second entry short with a new low first entry short. And if prices trigger below, this is a second entry short. We also have this new high with a first entry long, second entry long if it triggers above this bar. Kind of delayed, but I ended up not wanting to trade anything here only because of how flat things were. And this was a very choppy short-term trend working down before prices pulled back up into this range. So I really thought prices could have gone either way. I think prices could have gone up or down. I was again leaning more towards a second entry short, but I wanted something to set up here. So when prices came all the way up above EMA, first entry short, prices tried pushing above EMA. Second entry short, if we get a trigger here, we do get a trigger here and people would have been in this trade. I think you would have barely gotten a scalp. I just didn't end up trading this. It just took forever for these bars to print. You can see this was 10:46 Central Time, 10:49 Central Time, 10:51, almost 2 to 3 minutes for these bars to print. By then I was overthinking. I wasn't really looking to trade anything. With this trading range in place here, I also didn't want to go short into this level of support. So I just sat it out and I didn't make any trades here. Prices push back up into the EMA before coming back down. We have a new low, first entry short, and as prices come back up, not really any good trades to go second entry short. Prices don't come back up to the EMA like I usually want them to. Prices continue to chop low, and as we get to this time frame, I would be interested in the second entry short to continue this move downward with a new low first entry short, and we just have to see if prices pull back up for a second entry short opportunity. With this extra price action here, you could potentially extend the range just a little bit so that you have the EMA holding at the midline. But ultimately, that's what I saw for the morning. I think there are some things I need to fine tune with the way I enter, because up until now, I've exclusively entered on limit orders. And so these two trades leave without me when I do something like that. So maybe on days when there's less volatility and it's a little bit slower, I should enter on stop orders, because because I would have had a nice trade and potential runner here and here. I also unfortunately missed out on this trade because I wasn't on a limit order as well. So I didn't get any successful trades today, but there were at least 3 opportunities that were relatively clear to see, even on a slow day like this. So if you can spot those and you have a method of entering these where you get into these trades and they don't leave without you, you're looking really good today. As we come back here to see what prices are doing, prices immediately break and make a new low. So no second entry short that sets up here. I don't anticipate the day is going to get any faster. ATR is currently 2.65, so volatility is slowing down. Definitely not my favorite day to trade, but as I always say, a lot of learning opportunities in here. Again, I'm fine tuning how I trade personally. I don't have a dead set way on doing things. I'm trying to adapt as well to my strategy of trading. So I definitely appreciate any input. This is just what I saw for the day. I hope all of you enjoyed this video and still got something out of it. These videos seem to be helping a lot of people, and they're definitely helping myself and my trading. And the way I see it, the sky's the limit from here. We're going to continue getting better together. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to this channel, turn on post notifications so you know exactly when these videos get posted. And if you found this video beneficial, go ahead and share it with a trading buddy. It never hurts to have another resource to learn from, and I feel like these videos could help a lot of people. So until next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.